Good day, fellas. I hope you are ready for your daily dose of skill, and today we are having very unusual one. Today we are having conversation with one of the first players, content creators, streamers, overall good guy, SirFoch. I believe you remember him for his honest and open opinion overall. We are touching many topics like streaming live whenever you are changing direction from World of Tanks, overall World of Tanks balance, and many other things. And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, links are going to be in the description down below and into the first pinned comment. What do I mean by saying this is go say hi for SirFoch. I believe quite some of you remember his content, and pass hi from my side overall. Maybe if you have your free Twitch Prime, feel free to drop that to the SirFoch. It would be very much appreciated. If I'm not mistaken, he is going to start the stream at 5 p.m. GMT +2 or +3. So feel free to check him out, fellas. And now, without further ado, let's teleport into the action and let's see what SirFoch has to say. Let's go. Good day, SirFoch. How are you doing?
Good day, sir. Skill4ltu. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Very nice. Good to hear that. I am doing excellent. Thank you very much. I can see you are enjoying your retirement from the World of Tanks in Maldives or somewhere, having a great time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The grass is much greener on the other side.
Oh, I see. First of all, nice to have a conversation with you. We haven't spoken a while. I think it has been like 1 year when you quit World of Tanks, and to be fair with you, even though I am tuning in your stream from time to time, and I believe you are seeing me there once in a month or so, but overall we did not have too much chance to have a conversation one-on-one in a way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the last time we spoke was on the last World of Tanks stream I did, which was 6th of December, 2 years. Well, not really 2 years ago. 1 year and 2 months ago.
1 year, 2 months ago. I remember the F's in the chat, or I supposed to say respects in the chat. I remember that very well. And if I'm not mistaken, you had a highlight of this as well in your Twitch stream, right? Via the comment. Anyways, I believe a lot of people are wondering how are you doing. Once again, a lot of people do not know that you did not quit completely. You are streaming other games, but they are not seeing you in the World of Tanks skies, right? So I believe a lot of people are thinking, how are you doing? So how are you, my man?
Doing okay. Obviously, the viewer numbers took a hit. Quitting World of Tanks, as we are pretty well aware, all of the World of Tanks streamers, is that World of Tanks viewers are really watching World of Tanks and nothing else. You can see that in your analytics. Anyways, so you definitely took a bit of a hit, but I started streaming World of Tanks because I found it fun, and when I stopped finding it fun, then I just moved on. And now what I do is I play sim racing games, a course competizione, and I find that a lot of fun.
I can imagine that. And speaking about the stream taking a hit, it is completely understandable, and you are not the very first streamer who actually was streaming other games. There is plenty examples. For example, Orzanel, Sircon, the same Kibi, right? Whenever World of Tanks community or whenever World of Tanks streamers are streaming other games, they are always taking a humongous hit, and like 50, 60, 80% of the people are simply disappearing. And it's just how it goes. It is a lot of people do not know how competitive a Twitch world is in a way, and whenever you are making this kind of decision, you know, you need to pretty much accept to take one for the team, if we can say so, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you are still full-time streamer?
Yes.
Very nice, beautiful. I heard you got some kind of education for yourself if the day would come when streaming would not work out. Am I correct?
I started it. I didn't finish it yet, but I really put the stream again on the forefront. So I'm basically just no live streaming every day for the last 200 days. Probably I have like 3 days off, so I've been just grinding my ass off. But I'm really enjoying doing it. So I took a year break from the uni and might go back to it. We'll see how it goes.
Roger that. Well, I wish you to make up your mind, and obviously the best thing would be if the stream thing would go well and you could keep up with what you are doing now, obviously. Now, one more thing which I really want to say: you were one of the first people who was creating content for World of Tanks together with Kibi, Sircon, or Zanel, Jingles. When back in the day when there were no World of Tanks streamers out there, right? Do you think that? How to say this? Do you think? The streaming world became more competitive in a way, right? I am speaking overall back in the day when you were streaming World of Tanks. Did you felt something?
For sure. I mean, I would call myself the second wave of World of Tanks content creators. I think Jingles QB were the first, maybe Sircon in that wagon as well. And then me, Arsenal, and a bunch of others were the second wave. But obviously, things got more competitive. I mean, I made my first YouTube videos in 720p on shitty graphics on a laptop. So if you do that now, your content is going to get 3 views and 3 downvotes for shitty graphics. So obviously, things have moved up quite a lot. And, streaming is also the same, better quality in everything. It's just really hard to get into streaming, much harder than it was back in the day because when there's 5 channels in World of Tanks category, then probably someone's going to click on one of those 5. But now there's 500 and 300 of them have 1 viewer. And if you're one of those 300, like, good luck. It's really hard to find your way into some kind of mainstream, if you want to call it.
A lot of people are thinking streaming is very easy. You are clicking one button and you are streaming. And in a way they are correct, but making a living out of streaming, this is completely different story and completely different situation. But obviously, if you will keep it up, if you will be dedicated, obviously, it is a chance you are going to be somewhere on the top one day, 5 years or 10 years from now on. My man, I am very, very curious. Do you miss World of Tanks after quitting it 1 year ago or so?
I mean, the idea of playing the game, maybe, but all I have to really do is just look back and think back of the last 3 or 4 months of that game, and then it's just like, no. I don't know if you checked how my streams were in the last 3 months before I quit. I was just not enjoying it. Not a single stream. It was all just get drunk while being frustrated at how poorly the game has evolved over time. And I don't think it's getting better from what I've been seeing. So, I just look back at those last couple of months and it's like, nah. I'm in a much better place now, enjoying what I do to a substantial amount.
And this is very important thing, and sometimes people are tuning into my streams and wondering where the SirFoch is, and I am always saying SirFoch is actually changed the game, obviously, and if he is in the better place for sure, because he's enjoying himself so much more. Because I remember I've seen the last week of the stream. I remember very, very well the counter in the left side screen when you were counting how many games. It did not matter when you were in the game or not. Akayu was counting the 15-5 simulator in a way, right?
Yeah.
So I am very, very well aware of that. And believe me, speaking about changes in the last year, things did not went to the good side, my man. I truly want to highlight this, and the game is even more one-sided in a way. You are getting 15 to 0, 0 to 15, and nowadays the competitive level, or maybe not competitive level, but overall gaming experience can be brutal, especially if the game doesn't want you to hit or doesn't want you to win, or doesn't want you to win, right? Since you are in the World of Tanks from 2011 or 2012, right? What do you think? What was the golden era of World of Tanks when you can say you had a blast playing the game? You could not wait until you can click that streaming button and just grind it out. I remember 30-hour streams, my man.
I mean, I did some of those when I already didn't like the game anymore, so that's not
I
really
know.
an indication. But obviously, when I started out, more or less, I mean, I think the game always had issues, and it was always like, you kind of accepted that 30% of the games were gonna be garbage. It used to be because already like 5 tier 10 already, like, what are you gonna do? I mean, we all remember the 10 light tanks, or no, what was it? 5 already, 7 light tanks, and then like 3 tanks actually on the map. And like, what the hell is the point of that? So you always accepted that there's going to be bad ones, but I feel like the percentages of the bad ones was a little lower back in the day for various reasons. Now, obviously, we had the wheelchairs put in the game, and almost every tier 10 game is going to have them, and a lot of them is going to be really bad because of it. And I feel like at some point it just crossed that line for me where it was just not worth it. The bad games were the majority, and the good ones were like from like 60% they went to like 20%, and it's just, I don't know, I just get too frustrated with that. So
I can imagine that. I know exactly what you are talking about. Although one thing, what was changed, and I really want to highlight that for you, Arta was actually nerfed like half year ago or something, and numbers of the Arta actually went significantly down. And even though it's still annoying, even though it is still Arta, even though you are getting outplayed by the person who is clicking the button in a way, right? But in the same time, art-wise game became a bit better. Unless you are playing tier 6 and you are meeting 3 M44s, then, hashtag never lucky. So yeah. So your answer for...
Still didn't fix that. Still didn't fix that. I think Sircon's been complaining about that for 6 years now. That one RD piece.
No, I do not...
it.
I truly do not think it is going to, Wargaming is going to fix that ever. And you were a community contributor before, and you are very, very well aware how the things are looking like. Aka, a lot of people are thinking community contributors are fix this game, fix the... Yep, Arta needs to be removed.
Victor, please. Victor, I'm gonna call Victor and tell him that this is broken. Meanwhile, Victor is playing that RD, and that's why they don't nerf it.
Yeah, unfortunately, for people who are not aware of that, community contributor is pretty much the advertisement for a game for which company doesn't need to pay for, in a way, right? And it is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Because if content creator would get paid, obviously his reviews wouldn't be as honest, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. But keep this in mind, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Community contributors do not have a vote what line we are going to get next in the game, or what game will become over the years overall, right? So if I understood your answer into the question, what was the golden era in the World of Tanks, there was no such a thing as golden era in World of Tanks, if I understand this correctly.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure for you as well. Whenever you look back, like, you might have enjoyed the game more, but you also probably looking a bit through rose-tinted glasses. When you were newer, you didn't really care that like 30% of your games were shit. You just kind of accepted it for the good ones, and I think that's really what changed. The good ones became less and less common, and the bad ones were become majority, really. So there was always something wrong with the game, but just, one thing replaced the other, and they always kind of keep that balance of the shitty games and the good ones, but I think they kind of missed it a little bit in the last couple of years.
And you know what? it is such a realistic point of view. We had probably this year or last year, I can't remember exactly, World of Tanks brought back the old World of Tanks in 2010, where you are not seeing how much damage you are making, where graphics are looking like you would play the Minecraft and everything. And I launched it for a moment. I played one game and I said, F this shit, I'm out. I do not like this. I do not enjoy this. And to be fair with you, in 2018, when we had the patch 2.0 coming into the game, it was some kind of bandage, well, at least graphic wise. Would you agree with me?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the game definitely got better in like very many ways. I think that always the issue is the gameplay in World of Tanks. They always improved everything else, like all the destruction. Like you don't remember how bad it was if you think the old one was better. Because let's not forget all the ramming physics that were before. That you just bump into something and everything stops, and you can make a mouse cap circle and whatnot. All this stupid shit that existed back in the day. And,
Erlenberg blocking the bridge with a toga, or the mines trying to find the angle to shoot, and since it is invisible wall, you are going like this and shooting everyone what is below you. Do you remember those days?
Yeah. And but back in the day, you couldn't even drive off a cliff. There would be just invisible walls everywhere, right? Like that was also a thing. So, the game gotten better in so many ways. It's just that the balancing, and there's always some weird issue, like mountain goating. Like, what the hell was that? That was a thing that was super annoying for how many patches? I mean, you probably did it as well.
I did it with a pleasure. Mate, listen, there is a reason why I did it. Imagine that. I am playing the game and I'm getting pissed, and you are not spotting that mother trucker which is on top of the hill. Mines, remember mines? And you don't know who is shooting you. So what I did, I went into the training room for hours and I grinded my ass off to know how to climb. And then I was abusing this as well. I know you knew how to climb. I've seen your video when you went with a bloody toga or something on the Seren Coast map, or how it was called. Stupid map where you had like 60% of the hills, right? I know you knew how to climb it, but you were very principled, if I can say so. You simply said, nope, I am not going to abuse this. So respect to you for this, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I just found it as a broken thing. I mean, looking back at it, it's kind of hilarious, obviously, that even was in the game, and it took them so long to like address that. But I mean, what can I say? It was just so silly. Like the fact that it also dominated top tier gameplay, right? Like every time you would be on a map where you can climb, someone would climb, and to the point where you almost know where they're gonna climb, so you're gonna blind shoot the just some hill on the back of the map. So it's just absurd. And that's just one example. There's always something like that in World of Tanks, like be it EBRs, be it climbing, be it artillery numbers. There's always something like that just kind of ruins the experience in a lot of the games you play.
I have a question. I know you never ever used extra rations and you were shooting gold only with particular tanks, for example, Trash Barn or Death Star, right? Because there is no need for you not to shoot it. Anti-5 heavy, if I'm not mistaken, right? Those were a couple of examples which you were using the gold ammunition overall, right? What was your choice? Why you decided to go this way, and instead of joining the, let's say, meta train, or however to say that, to have extra rations to boost your tank, to load a bit more of the gold ammunition and just simply go with the flow? Why you decided to go with the only standard ammunition? I'm curious.
I mean, I just liked the challenge. Like, that was the game I was playing. Like, part of the game I was playing was, to actually find the weak spots, to find the damage with the regular ammo, and not I feel like the game becomes just a lot easier when you just press the 2 key. Like, surely there's obviously still a challenge to be the best who's shooting the gold ammo. Like, and that's kind of where you fall in. Like, if you want to have the best stats or the best marks of excellence, like all of that, you have to do that, right? And my challenge was basically figuring out how high I can get without doing that, and complain all the way through, what I usually do.
I
So
know. I remember this. So okay, pretty much you were the main decision why you decided to go this way. You were playing World of Tanks in the hardcore mode. It's not like you could not afford it, because if I remember this correctly, you had 200, 300 million. I mean, you were a rich bitch in a way, right?
yeah, I don't even remember how much credits I have. I think that account is still there if it hasn't been hacked already. But yeah, there is a lot of money there.
Indeed, there is. Well, maybe one day you are going to have an event when you are coming to the game for one stream just to laugh a bit, or whenever you are not playing World of Tanks every single day, you are becoming a bit more forgiven for those things. 15 to 1 simulator, or Artas, or Ferraris, or goal spam, you name it. You name the problems, right? So maybe one day you are going to have a fun stream and you are playing World of Tanks for one day, and after that you are just simply leaving.
I mean, that could definitely has crossed my mind that maybe should do something like that for some kind of event. But yeah, for now I'm happy where I am. I might save that for some special occasion. I was actually kind of considering for the 1 year anniversary after leaving, but I feel like I was really not missing it. And I don't think the game changed enough to revisit it after a year either. So, I'm not in a hurry.
In other words, it is not the time yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Overall, the other question which I would have for you, do you miss World of Tanks from time to time overall, right? I know you said a couple of times you kind of thought about making a stream for World of Tanks, but do you miss it overall, right? Like one day you are waking up and saying, I would love to play World of Tanks.
No.
That's no.
Like I said, the idea, yeah, maybe sometimes, but like I said, I just remember the last 3 months I played that game. It was just miserable. Like I really actually was considering like just not streaming anymore, but instead I just switched to sim racing and gave it a solid go, and I'm still giving it a solid go. So yeah, definitely not like actually. I definitely don't have the thought that I wake up and I want to play World of Tanks. That's not something that is here yet. Okay, maybe one day, but not
maybe one day. Okay. Now following the following question, what would bring you back? What would bring you back to the World of Tanks? What Wargaming should do and how the game should change in order to attract the old school players? Because believe me, you are not the only one who left the game and who said, enough.
I mean, that's really not a great question for me to ask, because I don't really know what changed since I left. I really haven't been following World of Tanks too much. It's also a shame because I don't really tune into too many World of Tanks streams after I've done playing it. But that's actually probably the worst thing about leaving is just all the people that I made friends with over the community, like yourself, SirFoch, and I just don't get to hang out with you boys anymore because we just do completely different things. So that's like the biggest downside, really.
To be fair with you, sorry for interrupting you for a second. To be fair with you, you are always welcome, and believe me, I believe if you would tune in into the SirFoch stream or into my stream or any other streamer stream, you would see a lot of POC champs, and people would love to say hi to you. To be fair with you, so don't be ashamed and find those 5 minutes in a day to say hi, Skill. How are you doing? While am I streaming?
No, I was more referring to back in the day, we would go on voice chat and actually play together and have some memes together and so on. That's slightly different, right?
Okay, I see.
That is what I was mostly referring to. Back to your question, though. I mean, like I said, you probably know better what went wrong and what is still wrong. I mean, apparently they fixed artillery, but I assume the wheelchairs, Ferraris, whatever you call them, are still as broken as they were. The physics are still completely messed up with that, and I mean, I feel like they just an absolutely terrible fit for the game. It's just not meant for that kind of speed. It's called a boomer FPS for a reason. Those things, it's not even because of the skill or whatever. It's just the server side hit detection. It's just, imagine if Counter-Strike had that. It would be just pathetic if they had server side hit detection. It's just not really suited for the game at those speeds. And that's really like I called that out when Armored Warfare came out. Like the wheeled vehicles were the worst thing about it because it was the same. You auto aim, you drive around, then you left click, and nobody can hit you because there's like 200 ping between who is shooting you and where you actually are. So, you know,
I
that is
understand
definitely
this.
something that they would have to fix too, especially because of how popular they are. If they were terrible in every way and nobody would play them, that would fix the problem. But I assume they're not.
They were nerfed. Pretty much what Wargaming did in the previous year, they nerfed high explosive penetration. If you remember when they just came out, it was like some kind of ludicrous penetration, like 120 with high explosives. They nerfed down to 75. And whenever you are hitting the wheel, they are becoming a bit slower and so on. But by any means, it is still a problem of the game, and there is probably 50-50 players who hates the Artisan, who hates Ferraris, and you cannot change absolutely anything about this. And the thing is, World of Tanks, they know they cannot remove the whole line from the game. Whoever was responsible for this, he took the risk. He probably thought about being innovative or something, and in the end of the day, he pissed a lot of players off. And unfortunately, this is not the thing which you can fix. You know how you would fix this? Say, hi, hey guys, after 3 years, we know we messed up. We are not going to give you anything for this, but we will remove Ferraris from the game. This is not how the things are working.
I don't think they have to remove them. Like the biggest problem with those tanks in World of Tanks is that they do turn better than the Ferrari I drive on this wheel here. So all they need to do is just adjust how much they slide. If you turn and you should go straight, but you slide and lose all the speed, that would change everything. If it couldn't do a 90-degree turn in half a second, driving 70 kilometers an hour, that would fix it immediately, right? Because that's like the big problem. They drive, they turn on a dime with no slide. So all you have to lead the shot by like almost 100 meters at some point, depending on what ammo you use. And then, by the time you shoot and your shot is in the air, he just turns a little bit and he's on a different side of the map by the time your shell arrives where he was supposed to be. That's the big issue. And also the fact that they can circle other things so well. And, the physics, if they adjust the physics, I think they could fix them.
Oh, here you go. If we have Wargaming watching this podcast / Q&A, you know what you need to do and what would work well. And in the same time, speaking about Ferraris overall, the lag in the game can mess you up. You can be perfect, you can aim perfectly, but you are just simply missing them by the inch, and this is more than enough in a way, right? And now for the end, to wrap everything up, are you happy with your decision to stop streaming World of Tanks? And overall, a lot of people are not aware of how big of a decision this is. For casual player, it is completely fine. You are not playing the game. But for person who is making his living by streaming World of Tanks or any other game full time, by not being varied streamer, it is pretty much 100% guaranteed you are going to take a humongous hit, speaking about the popularity, about the sub numbers, donations and everything, because this is how we are making our living, right? So this is very important thing to say as well.
I mean, the jury's still out on that. I'm definitely happy I quit playing World of Tanks because it was just miserable. I was just miserable playing it. And to be fair, I was so miserable playing it that the last couple of months, even the World of Tanks numbers dropped. And then what the hell is the point? So in that sense, sure. But in the sense that, if the full-time switch to something else is actually going to be like a valid choice for the rest of my streamer career, how long that is going to be is still, a question that I don't know the answer to. But I'm definitely happy that I switched away from all the tanks. I don't know where I would be if I didn't, but I'd probably be in a much worse place. mentally at least, for
Yeah,
sure.
I can imagine that. And it was visible you did not enjoy it yourself. You had definitely a bad time playing the game. And you know what? I am playing World of Tanks for N years, for 5 6 years as a streamer, right? And I am being in the same place as you are when it's just not working, when I am misplaying or when I'm getting a bad luck 0 to 15 constantly, 10 games in a row. I had like 15 losses in a row overall myself, right? And I'm not new player in the World of Tanks, so I definitely feel you. Can you still make your living to the okay level Aka while streaming, right? You get the point what I am asking. Are you still okay? Everything is fine? You can
I
pay your
mean,
bills?
more or less, yeah, more or less. I mean, it's getting a little better again because just like in all the things, I feel like the major attraction to my content was that I was actually good at the game. And same with this set of horses that I'm playing now. I've been grinding my ass off to become good at the game. So hopefully, I'm almost to that level where it's actually impressive to what I'm doing. So it's definitely an uphill swing, and the sim racing as a genre in general has been boosted a little bit by the whole COVID and everything like that. So I mean, it always could be better, but I cannot complain too much for doing this because I really enjoy doing it, and that's kind of the most important thing. As long as I don't have to live on the street,
100%. So, in 1.5 years, you pretty much became, if we can say so, fluffy super unicum in the racing game. Is it
No,
is it the level yet?
no, not quite. I mean, definitely, probably in the top 10%, but the top 1%, that's just, they're called aliens in racing, not unicums. So that level is still a bit off for me. But I've been grinding my ass off. I think I have like close to 4,000 hours in that game in one year. So been really putting in some hours.
That's a lot of hours. That's 250 hours a month, which is pretty much full-time job, if not more, indeed. Crazy. Okay, my man. Thank you very much for opportunity to have a conversation with you. Guys, if... one more question. Actually, I figured out one more question. I apologize. Do you still have... guys from World of Tanks section tuning in again, saying what's up SirFoch, how the things are looking like, and not only words but in the same time subscribing, because it matters. And fellas, if you are in the Twitch world, you remember SirFoch, go to his channel, drop your prime, it is free for you, and I believe it would make a SirFoch day for sure.
Oh, thanks for the shout out. Sure. I mean, I have a lot of the core base that kind of stayed there. I'm pretty sure you probably, if you have dived into some other games, kind of your core audience that does will watch whatever you do, and that part stayed. So I still have the people who have been here from like day one, like 90-month subs or even more. So those people are still there. You get the casual World of Tanks people just checking up on you, making a World of Tanks EBR joke here and there, and so there's still some of those coming around and just checking up. But yeah, I feel like the majority now are mostly the racing game viewers more than the World of Tanks viewers, or especially those traveling World of Tanks viewers who watch whoever is streaming World of Tanks at the time.
Okay, Roger that. I was curious. I know the first months was like you had way more people watching the stream from World of Tanks section, but after that they are, oh, okay, it's not World of Tanks, and they're just simply not tuning in. And I believe if one day I would make a decision like you did to simply quit World of Tanks and do something else with my life, like playing other game or whatever, it would be literally the same situation. 50, 60, 70, 80% of the people would simply say bye, and they would move to the different direction. And once once again, it is completely fine. So once again, my man, thank you very, very much for opportunity to have conversation with you. It is my pleasure and my privilege to talk with you. And I appreciate your time and everything. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's been too long, man. Been too long, but nice to have this conversation.
Well, one day in Style World of Tanks, hit me up, and you are always welcome, and we can always play in platoon. Just saying, my man. Just saying.
All right. Now I'll definitely let you know.
Thank you very much for everything. Take care and have a good one. Bye bye.
Have a good one, man.